Hey, 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 it's Thirsty Thursday. And I forgot my drink. Okay, today we are going to talk to Armeshia Onken, and we'll just wait to see when she gets on here. And she can join me live as soon as she gets here. So, yeah. How's everybody doing? Everything good? I see she's on here. I think you have to push the join, like ask to join or something like that on the bottom part of the screen. And then once you ask to join, then I should be able to populate you, if that makes sense. I don't even think that's a thing. Are you there?
Hey,
Hey.
can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
A little bit, but my phone is weird, so if I go like this.
Well, we'll give it a try anyhow, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Might as well. Eventually, I think my phone will decide it's, cool and can hear you. I don't know.
Technology. It's great until it's not.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, welcome to Thirsty Thursday. I told everybody I forgot my drink. It's in the refrigerator over there. So, what are you drinking?
Water. Good old water. Hydrate.
Got to get that in, right?
Yes. How is your kiddo?
He is all right. He is resting on the couch. Yeah, we're taking a day at a time and trying to keep him on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
He randomly tried to tell me the other day he was going to go lift weights, and I'm like, and he goes, just upper body, mom. And I'm like, no, you're not. I was like, wait till we go see the doctor. So yeah, pretty funny.
Right? Oh, kids, they're great.
Yeah.
Until they're not.
Yeah. So
no, kids are awesome.
Please tell everybody who you are and what we're going to talk about today, and then I will turn it over and let you have at it.
Well, my name is Armeshia Onken. I have been in the group kind of silently stalking everybody. Sorry, I'm at Walmart. I had to pull over in the parking lot, so there's like people walking and they're like staring at me.
Right? They're like, what is she doing?
Right? Come on over. Come listen. Want to be friends? I don't have friends. Yeah.
No. Come be my friend. Come.
Right? Gosh, where was I going? Oh, my name, what I do. I silently have like stalked the group. I don't even know, at least a year, if not longer. Because I never really felt like I could add value to farm wives. I always got a ton of value from it, but I never felt like I could add value to anybody else's life in the group because here's these strong farm wives helping on the farm. What can I offer them? In reality is shame on me for thinking that, because we all can offer value to everybody and anybody, and honesty. And I just really like recently have like dove deeper into all of this, and I don't know, when you were like, hey, does anybody want to like get on and talk? I was like, what the heck? Sure, let's try it.
And it's funny that you say that, because the only reason why I started this particular group was because of being on the Young Farmers and Ranchers Committee. and they were talking about, you know, adding value and all that other type of stuff, and doing all of these things. And I was watching all of these women do these things, and I was like, this is, you know, this is so cool. I was in the same place. I did it scared. I did it anyway. And I mean, look at it. It's been amazing. And we all find friends and community and people to talk to. And I get to meet some really cool people. And this is completely out of my comfort zone. But I thought, damn it, again, play to the fear, right? Just play to the fear and go do something, because by the time it's over, it's like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Right? It's okay. I survived.
Yep, for sure. And we all greatly like appreciate you creating this safe space for us farm wives to come and be, because majority of my friends are town wives. They have 8 to 5 jobs or don't have jobs. I mean, shame on me. I don't mean that. They take care of their kids, just like we take care of our kids, but they don't work outside the home. But their husband has an 8 to 5 job. And it was a huge struggle. And that's why when you asked, like, what are some topics? I was like, the grass is greener where we water it, because, and stop comparing, because so many of my friends have that 8 to 5 job, but they also don't have the luxury of telling their boss, I'm not coming in today. Yeah. And like, I had to sit there and do this balancing of, okay, well, you get to go on vacation once a year. I really am kind of blessed. And yeah, my husband works 12, 14, 20 hours a day. But if we want to take 4 or 5 vacations, we get to. And it's really been eye-opening. Because I used to be one that sat there on social media and I'm like, darn it, they get to go on vacation and it's July. Why do I have to irrigate? And then I'm like, you know what? Like, what am I teaching my kids? Really is what it kind of boiled down to. And not that I was jealous, because obviously they're my friends and I'm super excited for them. But in the back of my head, I'm like, man, I'd really like to be hiking instead of playing in the mud or whatever, you know? Yeah. And I think that's only human. Like, to at some point have that cross your mind. And we just really have to be careful, because if we keep feeding into that, it leads you down a dangerous, dangerous road.
It totally does. And that's, so when I was sitting there talking about loneliness, it's this mindset of being able to catch yourself and going, okay, wait a minute. Everything that we see or come across during social media, you know, during the scroll, you know, those are snapshots. Those are seconds out of somebody's life. And it looks glamorous and great, but reality does set in, right? I mean, like, we had an accident here. I didn't post that. I didn't go out there and post that, because frankly, I didn't want to. And there's lots of times where there's things that I don't want to post because it's ugly or unkind, or, you know, you want to scream and shout. But so if I'm not posting everything about my life, somebody else isn't doing it either. And it's not happy all the time. It's just not. But you can get sucked down that rabbit hole pretty quick if you allow yourself to.
Absolutely. The other thing, if anybody heads over to my page and takes a look, I'm super vulnerable. My kids are like, Mom, you post way too much. Sometimes I do. And I have honestly, though, found some of my closest friends in being vulnerable in those ugly moments, because, you know, we lost a baby. I was 20 weeks pregnant, and some people are like, why do you post about that? Again, it's not one of those moments you want to make greener. Obviously, I don't want to water it. I don't want to, you know, talk about that. But I've had multiple women like reach out when I do post and say, thank you. Like your vulnerability is helping me realize that I'm not in this alone. And that joy does come after something traumatic and hard. and that it's okay to feel lots of emotions.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other thing too. Like, we get caught in that scroll hole and we're like happy, 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 happy. And then it's consuming you. And even in day to day, like we try to teach our kids, as my son sits back there, he's like, Mom, wow. We try to like make our kids find at least 3 things that they're thankful for every single day. And it's like, it can't be family. It can't be the roof over your head. Like, and sometimes we have to be thankful for those hard things. Yeah. And it just makes everything easier if we can find those things that we're thankful for.
Right. And isn't it crazy how, like, I feel like God gives you the hard things so you know what the good things are, right? Like, they have to be paired together. They have to work together in order so that you know what it is. I mean, because if it was just an emotion, it would just be an emotion. Or if it was just a feeling, it would just be a feeling. Like, but he puts those things together. And I think it's beautiful because you learn from all of it. You know, you learn to be thankful with the hard stuff. You learn to be thankful with the easy stuff. You can find little gold nuggets in everything that he presents to you. And that's what I love about it.
Absolutely.
So, because you are vulnerable, like, I'm always very impressed with your posts. You probably have no idea that I stalk you too, you know, and just watch the things that you say. And I find myself, it's like, how did you get to that point? Because I'm always worried about what people will say or what people will think. Or, I mean, I've been vulnerable, or I've said things and people are like, don't you do that, you know? And it's like, okay, so how do you learn to let go of that fear when you post, because you are being vulnerable? Like, how do you deal with that? How do you do that? And then how do you deal with like the comments and the stuff that comes with those? Because you're going to have them.
Right. Honestly, there's some things I'm super comfortable being vulnerable about. And then there's other things I'm like, I just sound like a wackadoo. I can't post that. So I struggle with that feeling. Majority of that being like, I don't post a lot of political things. Because I just value my friends too much. Yeah. And we're in this crappy situation where if my views don't match your views, we can't be friends. And that's total BS. Yeah. But that's the mindset, unfortunately, I think so many people have. So I have somewhat been choosy on what I be vulnerable about. I don't post politics. I will post, obviously, about my religion. I don't post about my tinfoil hat theories. Only for the fact, like, I have a group that I'm in that I'm like, oh yeah, like y'all get me. But because we live in such a small town, and I'm like, if I post some of the things I think, my kids are not going to be able to hang out with kids at school.
Right.
But for the most part, being vulnerable just means tapping into your inner self. Like, being true to you. And if I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do a Zoom like we're doing, or do a conversation, or sit with coffee, like, if I let you into that part of my life, then that's the part you're allowed into. But not everybody has that access. And it's the same thing that I live on social media. Yes, I'm vulnerable, and I'm vulnerable about certain places of my life, but not everybody has that access. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. It's just, there's some I sit there and I think, do I really want to post this? And there have been times where I have, like, you know, you can go in and post it and then just keep it private, so you're the only one that sees it. And I sit there and I'll post it to myself, and then I'll sit on it and think, okay. And usually it's not me that says, okay, it's time to be vulnerable. It's a nudge from God. And he's like, somebody needs to hear your message. And I'm like, okay, if I have this gut feeling or I'm getting this inkling, there's somebody out there that needs to hear it. And that's far more important than my little tiny fear and concern. And I think that's
right.
over the edge.
Mm-hmm. No, I like how you stated that. So when it comes to like, have you ever had people like, I don't know, give negative comments? Because I feel like there's always those keyboard warriors that, I mean, say all sorts of stuff and you're just like, really? Like, could you not just scroll on by? Like, why did you find that necessary? How do you deal with some of those people, or have you had like run-ins with those types of people?
Oh yeah. And usually it's the people like you least expect it, and you're like, really? Yeah, that's what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
If I know the person really like somewhat well, then nah, that's kind of a lie. I typically respond. I grew up with 5 brothers, so I don't really have this nitpicky girl mentality. Like, I'm just gonna call you on it.
Yeah.
So typically I do. And I'm like, oh, you must be having a really rough day. I hope it gets better. Or, something snarky. Or like, I hope you have the day you deserve. Something like that if they're just being belligerent. Yeah. But you have to be careful because there's feelings and then there's facts. And if you're posting facts, then that's easy to back up. Feelings is much more complicated. And that's when it's just, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. I hope that we can both still be friends at the end of the day. But honestly, sometimes when you post enough, people are like, well, all you do is post positive stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I try to, because that's what I want to focus on. If I let my brain focus on negativity, that's all I'm going to see. And sometimes it's just calling people out like that in particular. And then I on occasion, there's a lot of, I hope you have the day you deserve. But
it's funny that you say that, like, people are like, they're pointing out the fact that you're posting positive crap all the time. It's like, is that really a negative thing? I'm always floored by what trips somebody's trigger. It's just, I'm always just kind of like, where did that even come from?
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it's just, we don't know what's going on in people's lives.
Yeah.
And so, like, sometimes I say snarky things and I'm like, gosh, Mish, don't be a brat. Like, maybe they're just having a really crappy day. Maybe they ran over the dog. Maybe who knows? Like, just reach out to them and be like, hey, are you having a bad day? Like, what's going on? Sorry, my positivity, like, pisses you off, I guess. I don't know. Want to talk about it? It's, like you said, it is so weird what just sets some people off.
Yeah. So it's I mean, I have like my own, I've tried to start my own blog, and I've tried to, start my own I guess blog, Facebook thing, and post a picture a day and that type of stuff. And it's so funny to me because I want to do it and I want to share, but it's like, I don't even know how to like go and keep it going. And I think probably part of my mindset is I'm too worried about everybody else and not enough about myself.
Right.
So how would you tell somebody to go about starting this journey of being like vulnerable, or going ahead and posting things? How would you suggest to them to do so?
Do these people pay your bills?
No.
What do you care?
Right.
What do you care? I think so many times social media, we started out as close friends and family, and then it grows, and it's like, oh, I know so and so, or you're on vacation and you meet this person and you got to spend like 3 days with them and you think they're awesome, and then you add them on social media and it just keeps growing, which is phenomenal. And it's a super easy way to keep in touch with everybody.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's just my thought process. Like, I have family in West Virginia, in Kansas, in China, California, and I don't want to send out a text and then to so many people. I'm like, I'm just going to post it, and they see it. They see it. And honestly, that's how I started my whole social media endeavor, I guess. It was just, I didn't care. Like, I'm posting to keep my family and my close friends in the loop. And if you like it and you want to be a part of it, great. If you don't, unfollow me. Like, I don't care. As far as like every day, just be authentically you. Just show up. And not every day's good. I mean, there's some really crappy days out there, and it's okay. It's okay to say, well, today sucked. I mean, like, if you scroll, there are days on my page that I'm like, well, ran over the family dog, had, what did we have that day? Oh, we had parent-teacher conferences. I was like, this is great. Ran over the family dog, had parent-teacher conferences, and I list, like, for lack of better terms, the shitty things that had happened. But at the end, I'm like, okay, let's take them, try and find the lessons, like the good things we can pull from this. And just, I know it's hard, but like, don't care. Those people aren't paying my bills. They're not my husband. They're not my kids. Like, I don't have I have close relationships built off social media, but in the end, it's like, I don't know. I just put it out there.
You're just learning not to take stock in everybody else's idea of your life for you. That's
Absolutely. And when you reach this point of being comfortable in your own life and your home base and all of those things, it gets easier. And that's where I think, the grass is greener where you water it. Yes, I get on there and I scroll and I see everybody's things, but like, water home base, water into your children, water into your husband, water into yourself. Like, how many of us just don't take the time to water into ourselves,
Right.
They can't pour from an empty cup, but we do as moms constantly, and we have to pour back into that. And that's why I'm so thankful for your group, because I find that here, and it's just a safe place, and it's pouring back into yourself or watering your own grass. And social media is great if you use it correctly, and I think so many people just get on there and don't use it correctly, and then we build up all these thoughts in our head, and it creates that bitterness.
And you know what else is funny? I was just thinking about this as you were talking too. Like, if we're doing it for ourselves, if we're doing it for the right reasons, if we're posting because it's what we want to post, and we're not, you're not trying to be crappy or whatever else, I can unfollow people, I can block people, I can continue to live my life. I don't need their opinions, I don't need their thoughts, and if it becomes toxic, it becomes toxic, like, and you just get rid of it. It's so funny because I feel like a lot of times it's you worry about everybody else. I don't know if that's because I'm the oldest child in my family. I don't know if it's because I'm the mom, you know what I mean? Like, it's you worry about everybody and everything. And I'm like, what am I doing it for? And I love how you said, do they pay your bills? Do you know how many times I've said that this week? To somebody else, not to myself, to somebody else. And it's like, duh, I'm giving the advice out to other people, but trying to remember to receive it for ourselves. Watering my own grass. They don't pay my bills. I'm not being rude and mean. If you really know me, you'll know, you know what? She's either A, having a bad day, or B, like, I probably should call and check on her.
Yep.
And so, yeah, just watering your own grass, not going down the rabbit hole of, oh, look at their perfect life, because that's, again, a snapshot. Being vulnerable, allowing yourself to go there and grow and learn is so important. And we have to fill our own cup. I love my husband. I love my children. They don't have time. They don't even know. They don't even know.
Nope.
They just don't have time. So we have to do it. And so I'm really thankful that you think this is the place that fills your cup, that helps do that, because that means a lot to me, because that's really what I wanted for this group.
I think so many women, like myself, I go out and I do a few little things here on the farm, manual labor. My husband really is the one, like, does the hard work. Our employees are out there. You can ask my employees. I'm like, somebody will ask something. I'm like, until it hits my desk, I have no clue.
Right.
I had a farmer, we were at a restaurant and he came up and started talking to me and he's like, well, do you know when you're going to get to my lime? And I'm like, I didn't even know you were on our book. I'm like, I don't know until it hits my desk. And, you know, like you said, we're taking care of so much. But in that same sentence, remember, everybody's emotions are not ours to carry.
Yeah.
Like, we only have to carry ours. We have to teach our children how to carry theirs.
Yeah.
We can help carry some of theirs, but we also have to teach them. It's like a huge balancing act, because if we're carrying it all, then we produce these adults that don't have a clue how to handle them. So just be really careful with, we have to handle it all and we have to fix it all, but we also have to teach people boundaries and how to carry their own emotions.
Yeah. And it's funny, this goes back to the very first time that we did this Thirsty Thursday deal, and we talked about the fleas jumping up and hitting the top of the lid and everything else like that. Take that lid off. Help them figure it out. And there's people on here, there's women on here, there's a bunch of topics to talk about and a bunch of things to help figure out. I mean, I know people are gonna come to you and probably chat and ask more questions, and that's what I want. We need to start making these connections and empower each other, that we have answers, that we have things that we have gone through, worked through, done to water our own grass, to figure out our own stuff. You're excellent with being vulnerable. I'm getting to the point where it's like, if something scares me, I'm doing it. I'm totally going to do it. I'm not going to back down, because good things have come out of that fear. And yes. So there are so many ways to water your own grass and make it greener. Yeah. Even through social media, any podcasts, YouTube, whatever it is somebody wants to do, it is so much easier to water your own grass and do your own thing. So I'm super thankful that you decided to say yes to me.
Anytime. Absolutely. I 100% agree. And I think just even having a friend that understands it, I think a lot of us get in this area. Like, I'm in a kind of a funny area. I don't know if this like fits you, but like I was saying, majority of my friends are 8 to 5 moms that have 8 to 5 jobs. Husbands are kind of the same thing, or, husband is a part-time farmer, like not big enough to have like real big farms, and they don't understand where we're at, and that's okay.
Yeah, right.
But at the same time, like, know where they're at, because they're not, you're looking at somebody's chapter 3 and they're on chapter 12. Like, you don't know, I said that backwards. You're looking at chapter 12, not looking at their chapter 3. Like, you don't know what they went through to get there. And just know, like, okay, it's different, and I can be excited for them and I can be grateful for them, but they have no idea of the world that I'm living in. And so even if that friend is 3-4 states away, have that friend that you can just be like, I don't want to go irrigate today. I really want to go into town and go to the pool. But at the same time, like, have that friend you can send those texts to, but also, like, get your mind in check. Like, I don't want to go irrigate, but if I go irrigate, and this is so silly, but like, we do it at our house a lot, don't we, Buck? bribery.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, bribery.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, I'm a grown woman. Okay, I don't want to go irrigate, but if I go irrigate, I can come home and have a margarita. Woohoo! Like, you get ice cream, but I get a margarita. Like, the silliest little thing that finds you that joy, or that just like, okay, this is a crappy situation. I'm going to just do something that brings me joy and makes me happy again once I get that crummy job completed. Find those things, friends. Like, keep your mindset positive. And there's some really crappy days out there, but still, just watering your own grass helps you get out of those funks way quicker.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you say that, because with the whole thing last week, it was crappy, period. It was crappy. But it was like, you know what? I could be mad. I could be upset. I could be throwing a fit. I could be hollering and screaming, and I'm not going to do that. I absolutely, unequivocally am not going to do that. I'm going to find the small things that bring me joy and happiness and be okay with that. And people came out of the woodwork. Hey, can I do this for you? Can I do that for you? And it was really amazing to see. And those are the people that are in my backyard that, to be honest, I don't talk to all the time, because we're all busy. We're all going in a million different directions. I have a friend who lives in Canada that I actually met on here. I've never met her in person. We have FaceTimed all the time. She has helped me through a lot of things. And I send her when I am in a crappy mood and I'm like, Barb, like, I'm just not okay. And she's like, what can I pray for you for? Let's talk about this. And you're right. Find those friends that you can dump your crap on, that aren't going to put it on their shoulders and carry it around, and just do those things and get yourself to turn around, to be positive, to water your own grass, fill your own cup, so that you can keep on a trucking, because life doesn't stop.
No.
No.
Wait. I have a good friend. We have a code, and it's 5 minutes ? And usually it's about 10, but when we send that, like, we know that they just need to get something off their chest and pour it out, speak it out, and move on. You're okay to talk about bad things and be frustrated and vent about them, get them out, but move on. Don't like, unpack your suitcase, close it up, and then move. Don't drag all of that with you the whole time.
The other code that I heard the other day is so funny that you said that. Somebody was like, I don't have any spoons. Like, what? She's like, I don't have any spoons. Okay, what are you talking about? She goes, I have no capacity to eat anything else. I have no spoons. And I was like, I love that. I was like, I'm totally stealing that. So it is. It's find that code word, man. I don't have any more spoons. I can't, nothing to eat with. I can't help you. Like, I can't take any more on.
I love that.
This is awesome. So good. And this is exactly why I did this.
Yes. I love this. Hopefully you get some more people that are willing to come talk.
No joke, because let me tell you, the other day when I was doing it by myself, I was like, oh, I feel like really weird.
Really good.
Oh, I tried, because it's a good topic, but like a hard topic. And it's all about trying to figure out how to change your mindset, catching yourself, being able to dump it, being able to switch and keep going, because farm wives, it doesn't quit. It doesn't end. It's a roller coaster.
I always talk to my friends whose husbands have like that steady 8 to 5. And I'm like, your husband has stress. I'm not saying he doesn't, but my husband carries the stress of all of our farm, our trucking company, our ag construction company, and then having to keep employees busy. Like, your husband shows up to work, does his job, and some of them own their own businesses too, so I shouldn't say that, but like, my husband has to keep all of that in check. So yeah, like, sorry he's crabby. I don't know what to tell you. You get me? I'm trying to be positive.
Right? You're the yin to his yang. I mean,
something.
me.
I don't know if you've ever seen this. My husband actually showed it to me, and it's like this poem, and I think it's called like The Hanging Tree or something like this. About how this farmer comes home every day from work, and he hangs all of his troubles outside on this tree. And I actually caught my husband. He was walking up our sidewalk, and he was just standing there, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you being weird? And he's like, I'm just trying to leave all today's stresses outside. And I was like, wow, like, good for you, dude. Like, because he's trying to leave it outside, so all he has at home are home stresses. But I'm sure all of you ladies can like understand this. When you farm, you live on the farm. Your work is right outside. So
right.
we've had a lot of those conversations with our kids. Like, again, back to the grass is greener where you water it. Like, take the good with the bad and just really focus on all the good.
Right, exactly. Leave all the stuff on the tree outside.
Yep. Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, what else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Did we miss? Did we cover it all? Did we solve all the world's problems?
They just need to put a farm wife in for president, right?
Amen. we have it fixed in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, baling wire, and all sorts of fun stuff. We'd have it fixed.
Duct tape.
Yep, duct tape, baling wire. And I think my dad one time said a quarter, and I was like, I'm not sure what the quarter's for, but okay. He goes, well, that's to call in case you need something. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Perfect.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for hanging out and chatting with me. And I'm sure people will probably reach out and chat with you. I'm going to tell people to follow you because, like I said, your vulnerability posts, your positive posts, the things that you do really do like bring me joy and make me happy. So I suggest people check you out, follow you, and they can learn a thing or two.
Well, I feel the same about you, my dear. I really appreciate you creating this safe space for all of us to come and just be vulnerable about our struggles here on the farm.
Yep, I love every minute of it, and I'm glad people have a place to go, and that means more to me than you know.
Well, have a good day, dear. Try and that teenager on the couch.
Yeah, I'll probably have to go sit on him, but it's fine. Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Bye-bye.